Thank you so much, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. I have the pleasure of representing the 43rd Senate District, which is parts of Rensselaer, Saratoga, Columbia County, Washington, and all of Columbia County. But you know, I'm proud to be here today among so many friends from all across New York State, fellow supporters of our Second Amendment rights. I'm equally proud to be one of the leaders in this fight for the New York State Senate to protect our Second Amendment and to repeal Governor Cuomo's what we refer to now as the Unsafe Act. I believe we need to stand up for our Second Amendment and safeguard the rights of all law-abiding gun owners. Thank you. You know, recently I was so very honored to be named the Legislator of the Year from the Rifle and Pistol Association, and I'm honored and proud to share that honor with my friend Assemblyman Steve McLaughlin. You know, on my first full day of session in 2013, many of you know that I stood up and voted against what I think is an unconstitutional law. Truly was one of two senators to speak out on the floor, although I do want to stress that there were 17 or 18 Republican senators who stood up and voted against this unconstitutional law. And thankful, if you know my friend Senator Greg Ball, who also stood up and spoke out against this. We spoke out against the governor's abuse of the message of necessity, that he rammed the SAFE Act through the legislature in the middle of the night at breakneck speed without any public hearing or opportunity for citizens to comment. And I'm certain, although he hasn't changed his mind on this law because he hasn't looked to help repeal it, I'm certain that he has heard the message and the words of all of us, and they've been ringing loud and clear in his ears ever since this law was passed. The day after I voted no on the law, I launched an online petition, and I want to say thank you because I'm certain that you folks in this room, and totals now 128,400 people signed that online petition to repeal this legislation. Thank you. Today I'm honored to be standing with my friend Assemblyman Dave DiPietro and S.C.O.P.E President Stephen Allstat and so many colleagues and Second Amendment patriots in Albany. Today, our citizens, all of you, can help us deliver upwards of 150,000 signatures from people who signed to repeal the SAFE Act. I've kept my word and introduced bills to repeal the unconstitutional SAFE Act. I'm sponsoring Senate Bill S.5591, a companion bill to legislation introduced in the Assembly by Assemblyman DiPietro, which would completely repeal the SAFE Act. I'm also sponsoring legislation which is S.5648, a companion bill to legislation introduced by Assemblyman Katz, which also would fully repeal the SAFE Act. Some of you may not know, but I've introduced Senate Bill S5221, which would provide up to a $500 state tax credit for the purchase of a gun safe to make gun safes more affordable for people in New York State. Thank you. In addition, I'm co-sponsoring legislation, Senate Bill S4599, which was introduced by my colleague Patty Ritchie. Her bill would enshrine the people's right to keep and bear arms in the state constitution. And finally, thank you. And finally, I will be filing an amicus brief, which means friend of the court, in support of the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association's lawsuit against the SAFE Act by the end of June. And boy, we need to just stop and thank the Rifle and Pistol Association, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, and the NRA for the monies and the effort and all the work that has been done on this lawsuit. You know, like you, I believe in the Constitution. I believe in America. I believe in the cause of liberty, a cause worth fighting for. I will keep fighting to preserve and protect our constitutional right to keep and bear arms. Thank you for standing up for our Second Amendment and for all of your support. Keep standing strong. Keep standing with us in defense of our right to keep and bear arms. Now, if you will join us, and I'm not sure where on the program, I'm hoping it's soon because I'm supposed to be in conference at 10:30. If you would join us, we are going to be taking our petitions to the governor's office. We will give you all a supply, and you will walk with us and bring the petitions. You know, Dave and I could have done this on our own with our hand cart and brought them up. But these petitions, these names are people. It's 150,000 people in New York State. We the people, need to bring these signatures to our governor so he knows they're not signatures of just signatures, but it's people who are standing behind it. So I welcome you to join us in bringing these signatures up to the governor's office. Thank you very much.